This is Dr. James Werner, and in today's example of performance therapy, here we have an MLB drafted pitcher. He's been making good progress in the gym, however, he wasn't seeing that translate to his velocity off the mound. As you can imagine, this caused frustration for him, pitching coach, as well as his strength coach, so they asked me to see what I could find in terms of any missing links. So we're just jumping in mid-assessment after their session here. And as you can see, we're going through a little bit of joint mobility as well as some muscle testing. With the muscle testing, we're not looking so much for their absolute or maximum strength, but more so how responsive are the muscles and the nervous system relative to the pressure that I'm putting against them, as well as the stability patterns of the kinetic chain. As you can see, when we bring the leg out to the side here, he basically loses it through his torso, gets a lot of torsion, and extends through his low back. Just indicating that he is weak from left foot to right shoulder, and that cross pattern or that cross swing is very important for power transfer as well as power production in any rotational athlete, such as a pitcher. We'll go through a bit more testing. We see groins are a little bit lagging, then we get back into that right side and we see a similar situation where we lose torso, get a lot of torsion and rotation, as well as arching of his low back. So once we identified that, our next step is to add an exercise that we think will basically strengthen, reinforce the core muscles, torso, in terms of intra-abdominal pressure and stability, as well as stabilizing both that groin and lateral hip by creating good co-activation or synchronization between those muscles. So as we can see, we try to get him to do a pure cross crawl pattern with just balancing on opposites. He dumps right away into extension and rotates. So now we got to add a little bit more stability by adding that left leg and right arm. From there we can see much more neutral spine position. Hips are much more parallel to the ground, which is what we're after. So now we can create that good stability and transfer that power across the kinetic chain. By the look on his face, you can tell it was a lot harder than he thought it was, but we'll work through it. So we flip sides, set him up in that 4-point stance. This side's a little bit more difficult for him as he's stuck in that extension and a little bit more rotation, obviously indicating this side's going to need a little bit more work. We basically follow this up with needling, chiropractic adjustments, soft tissue work, as well as integrating this exercises into his daily training and throwing routines. At the end, we come back, reassess. We don't expect to see like a world of change, but we do get significant change. Groins are much stronger and more responsive. We'll see his right side doesn't have near as much torsion as the left side does. Obviously, the left side leaves us a little bit more to be desired, but as I mentioned, we'll follow that up with chiropractic adjustments, dry needling, soft tissue work, and basically just reinforcing the improvements we made today.